These damn kids.
We out here, Ronnie.
Let's go.
Got it.
It is Tuesday night. It's the first Tuesday of September. Back. We haven't been here in a while, but there's a whole lot to discuss. This is Stoppage Time FC. Joe, Ron, representing Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. But honestly, a lot of the smoke might be reserved for people who are not here. But let's get to it. Where you all want to start? We can review the week. We can review the transfer window. We can talk about the Champions League draw. Like, we can go wherever direction y'all want to go.
I want to start with your game.
Let's start with my game. I think that's a great game. First of all, I want to give much respect to Johnny Evans at 106 years old, out there still competing for the big club. Shout out to him. Shout out Harry Maguire, who told these folk, I'm not leaving unless you pay me to leave. Getting big minutes out here. Arsenal with the 3-1 win. All jokes aside, although I'm getting my jokes off, no doubt. We didn't play well. I'm going to be perfectly, all kidding aside, we didn't play well. We were, for 75 minutes, it was a 5 out of 10 performance for about 75 minutes. Arteta went back to the formation. He went back to the 4-3-3. He got rid of his whole inverted fullback thing. But it was not good. And the guy who's not good, you hate to pin this. I'm gonna give my best friend Ron some kudos right now. Because he warned me. He warned me 3-4 weeks ago. He was like, Ron, my good friend, I'm telling you right now, this Kai Havertz thing is not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. And it's definitely not going the way I thought it was. But we got the win. I'll take the 3 points, but 3-1 flattered us. 3-1 flattered us. It was not a 3-1. It wasn't that. There was not that big a gap. I'll say that.
That's fair. That's fair. Joe, I'll deflect to you. I didn't really watch because as far as football goes, my spirit was kind of dead after after that. So I kind of didn't watch football the rest of the weekend, honestly. So you can, you have the floor. I have nothing to say about that game.
Oh, who calling?
Madness.
Of course.
Using the wife's MacBook. She getting phone calls.
That might night they calling you asking you want to try out. You want to play in 2 weeks? You want to play in 2 weeks? We got you.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game either. I was deep into second tournament for Jordan, so I was out in the heat all weekend with soccer for my daughter. I did see your boy Kai though in his.
Oh, I saw that too.
His lack of finishing, shall we say?
And hold up play.
Sounds like we've talked about this before.
I know, right? I feel like I've heard this somewhere. Like I really do, but
we have all the jokes in our group chat for the fans out there, but I'd be real. Ron was right. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does. I don't think the deep line midfield is his thing. Because I don't think he's strong enough to play there. Physically, I don't think he's strong enough to play midfield. His finishing isn't confident enough to play striker. He's not fast enough to really play the wing. So I don't know. I don't know what he does to be late.
So I'll bring it back to the conclusion I kind of came to on the show when I heavily discussed him. He was one of my favorites. I loved him. Maybe not so much anymore for the decisions that he made, but and let me just clarify. It's not even that he left us; it's that he left us for y'all. I really need to clarify that. He could have went to Madrid, but I wouldn't have cared. I'd have been like, you know what, man, good for you. You want us to UCL, good for you. But you chose Arsenal, and I just can't get down with that. Anyways, back to the topic though. His issue is honestly, I think maybe somewhat similar to, and I love him too, but somewhat similar to Timo. And ironically, both being German, I don't think they fit the Prem.
No,
I just don't. I love Kai, and he was magical at Leverkusen, but ever since he's gotten here,
it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But I tell you who the Prem is for. And that is that 6'4" blonde Amazon of a striker that plays on the blue side of Manchester. That is something else.
Yeah, man. I love him, yo. I can't hate him.
Ron, I'm so with you. Even though, like, clearly he's costing all of us, like, our league title dreams and cup dreams. He's something else, man. Like, Joe, you could talk about him more because that's your guy. But in an era of like false nines and he a striker.
Yes,
He an old school 1990s, early 2000s. Put the ball in the back of the net, striker.
He's not going to touch the ball a whole lot.
Nope.
We don't necessarily need him for the link-up play because we have so many other guys on the pitch that are capable of doing that. So we just need him to finish, and that's exactly what he does, and has been doing so well. Another hat trick last weekend against Fulham. He's got 6 now in 39 appearances in the Premier League. That's 15% of his matches he's dropped a hat trick in the Premier League. Unreal. And he had a lovely assist too. He had 3 goals and a beautiful through ball where he set up
Alvarez.
Yep, Julian Alvarez. So, and it's just wild. I was watching the game, and the commentators kept saying how City didn't look that good. They weren't really playing that well, and then at the end of the game, it's 5-1. It's like, who cares if you play well, if you look, because what would happen, they would gush about how well we kept the ball and how beautiful our football was, and then we would tie somebody 1-1 that we shouldn't. So I don't care at this point if it looks beautiful for 90 minutes. I care that at the end of the 90 or 105, now that they've been adding so much stoppage time in every game, that we have more goals than the other team. That's what matters.
And the thing about that is, in Man City terms, what does not looking good look like? Like, Chelsea don't play well, Arsenal don't play well. You can see they're not playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Man City doesn't play well. It's like, okay,
it's like everybody else is good.
They didn't win by 3 goals.
They didn't score 3 in the first half. That's what doesn't look good.
Y'all have set the bar extremely high. Extremely high.
It's I get what they're saying at some points, because there's times where you've seen them play like one touch, every pass is to the correct foot of the person who's receiving it, so they can take that first touch into space and move the ball quickly. And there's times where the passes recently haven't been like super on point, but that's, to me, is super nitpicky, because it wasn't like they were giving Fulham a bunch of chances to score. They fell asleep after our first goal. We got caught napping on a corner, and Ake lost Tim Ream, and he buried one in the back corner on the far post. But I'm like, they got to find something, I guess, to nitpick because
Yeah.
and the thing is, the past 2 weeks, past two games, they haven't had Pep on the sideline, so of course there's going to be a natural drop in like intensity
I forgot
because Pep wasn't on the touchline. He had the earbuds in and was talking to some of the assistant coaches that had them on. They kept showing him on the screen with a guy standing next to the assistant coach with the earbuds, and I kept pointing out that guy got Pep in his ear the entire game, talking and relaying stuff. So
yeah, like they play at a different. When you have like a Haaland, right? You could play bad for 80, 85 minutes. Or you can go to sleep for 15, 20 minutes, but you got him. As long as you got him, all it is one chance, get the ball in the box. If you get in the box and he gets a clean look, you dead.
Mm-hmm.
So City, it's early in the season. We'll see how it shakes out. But man, if they go play this well with De Bruyne sitting down, this season could be really this could be done by like Christmas if this is going to continue without De Bruyne. And I'm not trying to put the jinx on Joe, but they got him. They got him. That's all. That's the one answer. Now
they have many hymns who can just go out and win a game. That's the difference right now. Is they have match winners at every level on the pitch, and usually it's multiple at each spot. So
now I know his spirit is not crushed and he's not really feeling football right now, but we have to discuss it. Since our man Zachary is not here, I have to discuss it.
Okay.
So let me just ask you this about Chelsea.
Let's get this over
with. How much of this is, and I'm really, I have my fun with Chelsea and you. How much of this is the injury though? Like how much of this is just injuries? This is not the 11 that I want to play.
In my honest opinion, I would honestly say we're probably about, I'm gonna say about 50. Nah, I'm gonna give it 40%, 40% injury, in my opinion. 40% injury. I don't really blame anything on coaching. So don't worry, I'm not gonna throw Poach under the bus or anything. I don't know that we don't really have a philosophy yet in this rebuild. That's about the only thing I could tell you. It's been so much turnover. Essentially, even though we started and got a brand new manager and we kind of put that in place early on, I mean, yeah, we did that the proper way, but the way this team has turned over and changed and this person gone, this person in, like one of the commentators said this weekend, it's like, how do you get a team? Like, how do you decide a team out of this? It's been so many transfers, so many. We literally we just sold a whole squad this summer. Literally a whole squad, like almost at every position. We sold an entire squad this summer. A lot of it, I gave it 40% because we don't have too many injuries, but the ones we have matter a lot, especially in the attacking and scoring sense, not having Nkunku, especially after him and Jackson kind of developed that partnership in the preseason. And then all of that was kind of torn out from under us immediately. Not to mention Reese going down early on the season, probably 2 games in. That doesn't help any. Trying to instill a whole entire new midfield that we basically purchased this summer, who all aren't healthy or fully ready yet, it's just a lot. It's eerily reminiscent of last season, which is a season I truly want to forget and never go through again. But at this point, I'm somewhat accepting that it just may be that. I'm going into this optimistic. I have no expectations anymore at this point. I'm just going to watch. And if it gets too ugly, I'm probably going to stop watching. That's all I got for you.
I get that. And I think to change that much of your roster like that quick, even if they were completely healthy, that's a lot to ask of a team. We're going to put 10 to 13 new players in the last 6 months. Here you go. We have jokes, and I know Joe gets upset, and not upset, but kind of, you spent this amount of money. I get it. Even you can't spend that amount. That's too much turnover at one time. I don't care how much it costs. To do all that at once is I just hope they give Potch a fair shake because he needs the entire season. I don't care.
I think Bully understands that much now. I think he understands that much. To my knowledge, he's given up some of the control more to people who obviously know the sport better than he does. So I'm going to venture to say that Poach definitely has the whole season, and I would probably even venture to say even further, even if this season weren't to go great, I don't know what would necessarily be. I don't know what our placement would have to be for me to even think that he would necessarily get sacked. I would think that if let's just say, as long as we finish better than last season, which I think we finished 12th, if I remember correctly. I think as long as we finish at least maybe in the top half, I would think he has to be safe regardless. I will hope whoever has the control now knows that with this much turnover, you can't necessarily expect us to do, the impossible in this one season. It's just not going to happen, especially with all the injuries we've had. I do think we need to make one signing if we can. I don't know if that's a thing because they're a free agent, but I would have loved for us to bring back Hazard, even if I'm not even looking for him to be the old Hazard. That seems to kind of maybe be gone. Maybe it was a league thing, but we need someone around the club right now who has like that type of pedigree or that status amongst everybody who truly like knows the club outside of I give him Reese as the captain, but Reese is still only like 23, 24. We have like the youngest team in like the Premier League at this point, honestly. Yeah, and that's crazy for us to be in like the top 6 teams or, the traditional top 6. That's insane for any of us to ever have like the youngest team. So we missing a lot right now, man. I'm just watching to watch. I love my team, but I don't know what's going on.
Like we were talking about before, I don't know if you jumped on yet or not, but we were mentioning that it didn't seem like Poch is playing the style or formation that he would like to play, that he has been known to play just because of not having some of those players that you mentioned earlier available to you guys. So I think that hurts. And I think the Nkuku one is huge because we saw him and Nico really developing a bond and understanding of where each other were going to be on the pitch, and missing big pieces like that when you're trying to build chemistry with, like you guys said, so many different pieces coming in and leaving. That's not a good recipe to start off. So we'll see what happens when everybody gets a little more integrated into the group. On not throwing shade, but not having European football to worry about in the midweek might be a blessing, because y'all can get a little bit more time on the pitch, on the practice field, and some of your guys tend to get banged up. So not having as much to worry about might work out in y'all's favor. And I'm saying that in all sincerity.
Listen, I don't take offense to that. I've come to accept a long time ago what my situation is this year. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm proud of you, bro.
I'm going to tough through it.
You're growing.
I'm going to tough through it, man. I'm going to tough through it.
We had a season like that. It was in 2020, 2021, where we finished 8th. We eighth, 21, 22, we had no Europe. And it is what it is, but as much as we have our jokes, I get what's happening. Like when you do it, I understand what's happening. So we have our joke. Now, on sort of a side note, before we go into Champions League, I'm not a believer in like a second team you watch. Like, this is my second club or whatever. I'm not a believer. I'm not a big believer in that. But I will tell you the team right now. If they're on, I will watch. And that's Brighton. Brighton plays, they're the most fun team in the league right now. Just as purely entertainment to an enjoyable football to watch. Brighton is the most entertaining team in the Premier League right now. Like, and I'm gonna give it up to them. I'll probably get killed for saying this because they are the city rival. The next most entertaining team in the league is Tottenham. Purely on fun. They purely on fun. They're number two.
Their new manager has come out and said he is trying to copy and do exactly what Pep does. He said, "I'm stealing everything that's going on over at Man City. I'm trying to play like that."
They don't play like Man City. I don't know if they'll ever get there, but it's like watching the NBA. Brighton and Tottenham is like watching the NBA game. It's up and down, and Brighton has Evan Ferguson who looks like Rooney Part 2. He looks like Irish Wayne Rooney. And so that's kind of my other observation of this city is that, the Prem 1 through it's some tough, like after you get past Man City, who I still think is a level above everybody else. Teams 2 to about 9, there are not many. There's not many easy days after that.
And you could really see any of those groups, depending on injuries and who's playing well at the time, finish anywhere in that section of 2 through 9. There's be a lot of competition there, and those matchups between those teams are really going to decide who's finishing where.
After the international break, it's Brighton and Man United, and I'll listen. If Harry Maguire or Johnny Evans is back there when they play Brighton, it might be a long afternoon. What are you doing, bro? Other teams, Newcastle, slow start. Has not looked good early. So
they lower than us. They like 13th or something.
Yeah, Brighton ran them out off the pit.
Newcastle 14th right now.
Yeah, Newcastle not look great. So yeah, man, obviously it's 4 weeks in, it's still early, but there's some interesting things happening in the Premier League. Let's switch over to Europe.
That's a good segue because we were just talking about Newcastle. And they got one hell of a group in the Champions League.
Yeah, welcome back to the Champions League. Who's their group, Joe?
That is about as bad of a group as you could get if you're one Newcastle as the pot 4 team. That's a murderer's row of teams. They have PSG, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, and then Newcastle. Every match, all 6 of those matches are going to for those clubs are going to be a dogfight, and everyone, there's no cakewalks. It's not like you're getting a Young Boys or a Lens or something like that. You have a fight on your hands every single match. So good luck to those 4 teams because any of them could really come out. Newcastle, as a newcomer to the Champions League, I think is going to have some difficulties with those away matches in Europe because all 3 of those places are not particularly fun to go play. As much as we give PSG shit, their home atmosphere when the crowd gets rolling is pretty intense. And we all know about Dortmund's
Yellow.
away. Yeah, that yellow wall is insane. And then Italy is never fun to go and play in. So good luck to you, Newcastle.
Yeah, enjoy that.
I honestly think Dortmund is the weakest team in that group. Going off of how they played so far this year, I'll say that.
Their form is definitely the lowest. I mean, even with Newcastle not doing particularly well to start it off, Dortmund has not looked particularly good so far.
Yeah, I mean, because at least in Newcastle's case, Newcastle has played like 3 top teams straight.
Mm-hmm.
So them not, necessarily showing their record right now is okay. But Dortmund have been dropping it against, they just drop it against a newly promoted team. Okay.
That sounds like a Dortmund thing to do. We'll go with that. Correct.
The other group that is intriguing to me is Group D. It has Benfica, Inter Milan, RB Salzburg, not Leipzig, and Real Sociedad from La Liga. I think that group of 4.
That's really even.
That's why I was thinking it was intriguing, is because I could see any of those teams really. I think Inter should finish on top, but they've also, barring last year's run to the final, had some stinkers in the Champions League. So I could see any of those 4 teams coming out of that particular group.
Now, I like our group. I like it. Sevilla, PSV, and Lens. That's
y'all got a very nice draw.
It's a nice draw, but the matchups are interesting enough that I won't be like bored.
Right. Yep.
Which is a little bit crazy for me to say, considering I ain't played this competition like 7 years. So I don't even know why I'm talking like that.
You should just be happy, right? Like
happy to be there, but I'm happy with that group. Happy with the group. I think we should win the group pretty comfortably. But those are 3. It's 3 names. It's not like, you get one of them. You get one of them. No disrespect. You get one of them like Ukraine or like Bulgarian teams on like a random Tuesday, and you playing out the. They got the pitch with the track. They run around with the running track. Pitch. Hey, that's not that's not popping at all.
No, we don't like that.
Now, I don't bear to y'all in public a lot, but I have to talk about this, and I think my best friend's gonna agree with me. Joe, you are my guy.
Yep.
But respectfully, how come y'all get like San Jose State, Central Florida, and Harvard every year in this Champions League? Like,
I got no rebuttal to that, because our group stage is always,
come on, man,
less than challenging. Let's say that.
It's the NIT every year in the group stage. I like
this one should be wrapped up by match of day 4.
Whoever's the lowest possible pot 2 team, you will get every time.
That is typically because come knockout rounds, we always get fucking Real Madrid or PSG or Barcelona.
Maybe that's the makeup.
It's almost always a give, or Bayern. We get Bayern a lot too. So what's wild is like that this is a newer development. The last 3-4 years we've been getting favorable group draws, but before that we were always paired with one of the big European clubs, either a Barcelona, a Bayern, one of those type of clubs. We were always in a group with those, 7-8 years ago, and now recently we've been getting a much easier draw. And the most interesting thing I can say is that Josko is going to get to play against his old team, because the rest of this doesn't super excite me very much, to be honest with you. Young Boys is a cool name, and I'm not really looking forward to them having to go play Red Star Belgrade, but
That's because you had to fight. You might have to fight.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Red Star Belgrade is a fight.
So,
well, apparently you all getting Red Bull so and so every year because every year Man City would get Red Bull whoever. Like
Leipzig was in our group last year too.
Whatever Red Bull team.
They like matching us up.
The Champions League this year, fellas, I think it's a wide open. Because if you look at it with so many people going to Saudi, you talk about a Champions League that has no Ronaldo, no Messi, no Benzema, no Neymar. Like, and the other really good players who have gone to Saudi, like, I know the Saudi deadline closes in like 2 days. You could have like a variety is gone, like really good players gone. I don't know if there's I think after City and Bayern, who else are you really like, oh, they got a chance to win the whole thing? I think it's a bunch of teams after those two who could go deep in the competition.
It's going to be real hard to pick this year, I think, if you're looking at teams outside of Bayern and City, because everybody's got a little bit of a flaw. There's no Liverpool. We named all those players out there. Liverpool's been a staple in this competition recently. No Liverpool either. Got to put that out there for my pool friends out there. Y'all are not playing Wednesday football this year and Tuesday. Enjoy that Thursday stuff. Anywho, in Madrid, they've lost a bit, but you can't count them out. I think they're going to be a favorite, even if they haven't been playing as well. Jude has been on fire and made a very, very easy transition to a new league, and been scoring goals after goals. So he's been filling that goal scoring void that Benzema has left. I'm not sure he can keep that up for an extended period of time, but I think Madrid's always going to be there. And after that, man, it's a crapshoot, really.
Yeah.
Diego would like us to say, Barcelona's probably got a good shot, but I will believe that when I see it without Messi. Show me first.
I like AC Milan a lot so far this season. I'll say that. I do like them. And Inter looks pretty good too, replacing Lukaku with Thuram, even though they did lose a few pieces. Because who went to PSG?
Dembele went over there.
Nah, but from Inter though.
That was the defender?
Yeah.
Skriniar, right?
Skriniar, yeah. Okay, that's who. Yeah, because I was okay. Yes, that's who it was. So yeah, even with them losing a few pieces this summer, they seem to, fill in pretty nicely and keep going at the pace they were last season so far. So I definitely say I like both Milan teams so far this season. I like their chances to at least go deep. I don't know if they'll win it, but at least go deep.
I think it really does become an interesting contest. And we talked about the transfer window. We kind of get into that. And you said Mo Salah. We know Liverpool is playing the Europa League. I will say this, fellas. The last number was 225. The Saudi pro team was going to bid for Mo Salah. I'm gonna say this: if that number gets to 250 or 300 in the next 2 days,
you could very much rebuild that squad. And sure, you're going to lose some goals because he scored like 50% of their goals over the past 8-9 years. But the one spot that they have a little bit of depth at is wing. And you can actually start playing Cody Gakpo out there in his more natural position. You get more time for Luis Diaz and Diego Jota. And we kind of talked about how City is probably going to, knock on wood for me, run away with the Premier League title. As long as you finish in the top 4, does it matter if you're second or if you're fourth? Not really, in my opinion, if you're Liverpool. And I guess you might want to make a run at the Europa League, but does that really excite your fan base? I don't think it should if you're a Liverpool person. That's just me. So
I'm a little indifferent on that.
I would take that cash money real quick.
I just think the way their ownership works, and you put 300 bags on the table.
You'd have to be honest. This is somewhat like this is somewhat similar to Ronaldo leaving Madrid. That amount of money for a player at that age, it's like at that point you'd have to be an idiot not to take it. At that point, even if you want to keep the player, even if you love the player, sometimes money talks, and this is one of those times.
Listen, 300 M's for a player with 1 year left.
31. He's 31.
31.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
He cemented everything. He's won everything he could.
He's done it all. He won the Prem. He won the UCL. Like, let that man go.
Premier League Player of the Season.
He's won the Prem. He's won the CL. They won both domestic trophies 2 years ago.
Last year, right?
Yeah, he won both of them. You win both domestic trophies, and they offer you personally. I think the number they said was somewhere between $750 and $1 million per week. You already are the biggest star in Arab football. Going to that, man.
And he Muslim? Yeah, just going, yeah, man. Like, he gonna mess around and be God over there for real.
Oh, what?
Exactly.
So listen, I think the number, it started at like when the European transfer window closed, it was like 150, and then it keeps going up, and it's 175, 190.
They got it. So you got to play the game. You got to say no until they get to that number. Then we're like, okay, we can't say no anymore to that.
Because you're right, Joe. Because there is a number.
Yes,
there is a number. He's not unsellable. So
at some point, if they keep bidding, you're gonna get to that point where you're gonna have to make a choice. If I'm Liverpool, I'm taking it. That's just me. You could do a lot with that kind of money.
If that thing gets to anything, if that thing hits 275, 300, Mo, shake your hand. Shake your hands.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for all that you have done for the club. And kudos to you to go get your own bag over there too. So you've done everything you could. I never begrudge you doing that.
We got about 5 to 10 minutes left. So I told my man Josh Storm we weren't going to spend a whole bunch of time on him. However, we got to discuss it. Forget the loss. The loss to Arsenal is one thing. Chelsea has their own issues. Fine. But you don't have this issue. And I don't say that I'm not making light of this at all. But you have potentially your $350,000 a week mega signing from 2 years ago, basically called a coach a liar in front of the whole world.
That's one.
$2 million right winger from last year. Maybe got a little handsy with his woman, ex-woman, however you want to call it.
To the point where he got recalled from international duty and let go to go take care of that while he's being investigated. So there's at least something going on there.
Mason Greenwood got sent away last week. And then the brand new loan signing, Armorbat. Something's wrong with his back. That we figured this out today.
Oh, this is okay. I was gonna say this is news to me.
Yeah, he can be out for a bit.
No club, no major club. We've had our jokes about PSG, on with other clubs. No major club right now in world football is more of a mess than they are.
Oh, you forgot one thing. You forgot one point though.
What I forget?
Mason Mount. Trash bags. Pointless. Almost as pointless as y'all signing Havertz. And I gotta tell you that as a Chelsea fan, being neutral to all this, I am loving every second of it. Thank you for the funds, by the way. Appreciate both of y'all.
Did you throw the receipt away? So did you throw the receipt?
Should have paid us
returns.
The Swift tickets, man. Should have paid us in those.
Yo, on the blue side of Manchester, obviously things are lovely in Sydney. And y'all probably like, this is don't care about it, but it's, again, I am not making light of the Anthony Mason Greenwood thing at all. There's nothing funny about that.
Correct.
But the state of their club as a whole.
You named all them things, and there's still the drama of the ownership situations is still hanging over everything. And we haven't even gotten to that point yet. And that's where it all stems from, all this nonsense and all this craziness. It starts at the top. And it's just, I smile every day that this kind of drama happens because of all the shit that they talked and how much Sir Alex decided to run his jabbers when he left, that they were never going to be a day where cities above United and all that. And it's been 10 years of us finishing above them. And yet they still like to talk about history and X, Y, and Z. And it's just, it's to me now, I just laugh because it's funny to me that they try to like argue about shit like that, because it's just
the owner said we're not leaving.
After all the bids that came down over the summertime, all this stuff that was being talked, and now that's what they decide to say.
Meanwhile, Old Trafford looks real cute, like on the big screen
and on the drone, yeah, from the drone up above.
It got leaks. There are leaks in the stadium, like standing water in the concourse.
That's real Washington Commanders-esque right there. That's real Dan Snyder-like.
Come on, man. Yeah. Like we starting off the season like clean on Sunday, like new ownership. Why, Joe? that's not shade at Josh Harris. That's shade being thrown back at Dan Snyder's.
Even with the Commanders, I know there is a new ownership in place. Chelsea, you just get a new owner. It's a transition, turning the roster over. It's struggle, but I see where this is going. This thing in Manchester, on that red side,
they are rudderless.
There is no light on that tunnel. None. And the light at that tunnel is a train coming the other way.
You know, when we made our preseason predictions, I said a red team was going to have a down year this year.
That you did.
You did.
The red team was. I know which one, but I knew one of y'all. But damn, this is bad. Double homicide. Like
he's lined up Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans in the last 20 minutes against Arsenal.
I thought that was a joke when I saw that. I opened up my feed and I saw pictures of them two out there. I was like, this gotta be from like 10 years ago. Nope.
Johnny Johnny Evans is 36. And not
Can't
like
remember last time.
a 36. I'm talking about the real 36. The legitimate I'm old 36. They got 2 more years of Harry Maguire on that deal.
Because he's not leaving either, right? He said, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, Harry said, you can pay me all this bread to leave. You pay me every dollar, every pound, euro, whatever you want to call it.
That man has been studying Bale for the past 2 years, apparently. Because
well, the wild part. Here's the shenanigans part. And this is why when it comes to like international tournaments, I can't mess with England. He got picked anyway. He got picked anyway.
He barely plays. And when he does, he still shows us why he's Harry Maguire. But somehow, some way, he got dirt on somebody. He got to. Like,
how can you not play football for like almost 2 years where you have not played? I ain't gonna say 2 months, at least a year where you haven't played. And you go to England. He went to England and started at the World Cup for a top 4 team in the world. England, one of the best 4 teams in the world at the international level. He started for them. Got picked again. Just because he's on Manchester United, he gets picked for England.
And it's not like England don't got depth at that position. They have plenty of center backs to choose
They got
from.
all the center backs.
Ben White.
My guy Ben White can't get none of that. But Harry Maguire can.
Make it make sense, Gareth Southgate.
Come on, man. Your guy, Ron, the kid is better than him. What's it?
Leave it.
No. Who's it?
Caldwell.
Better than him.
Levi.
Yeah, no, you got that. No, you definitely got that.
He's better than him. But he can start. Come on, man.
I mean, Caldwell did get selected. We're going to have to see what the starting lineup look like, but Caldwell did get selected.
Did Mason Mount get picked?
I don't know. I only keep up with Chelsea players who got selected, so that's not my concern anymore.
That is no longer my concern.
Mason Mount is he's a yo.
I just know we had 3. I think we got Chile, Gallagher, and Caldwell. So
Mason Mount was wearing the 7 shirt for Manchester United. You kidding me?
Things you love to see. You love to see it. You love to see it, man. I love it.
We talking Cantona, Beckham, Ronaldo, Mason Mount. Mason Mount is number 7. Serious?
At the Manchester United Football Club.
The Manchester United. Listen. Josh Storms, if you're watching this or if you watch this back later, put the mute button on. Lord have mercy.
Best of luck to you, bro.
Listen.
Oh no.
It is bad. It's bad up there, man.
Oh man.
Thought ETH was supposed to be the savior.
Listen.
Ain't he say era's come to an end?
And you know what though? And we gonna ready to cut out. He gotta take some of that too. Cause now Jadon Sancho is wrong for what he did going public, but I would say this. If I'm in training, You can't tell me Anthony better than me. Now, maybe I don't train exactly the way you want, but on match day, Anthony ain't better than me. Now we can let's be clear. That dude is.
Better tell him, Joe. This is your product. Better tell him. I'm still disappointed that he chose to go there. Coming from y'all, like I don't know. Did y'all have a bad fallout? Was that supposed to be like a big fuck you or something? Like
he seems to think that it was gonna be like that, and he was legit when he was with us, and then he went out to Dortmund. And he played all right, and then came back. Was like, yeah, I'm going to United. Okay. I need our picture from Zach.
Oh, okay.
It's
Good luck
crazy
over there, brother.
Yeah, Jaden.
Especially for the timing of it, like for City to be who they were at the time, and that's what you chose.
He could have been doing the same stuff that Phil was doing because they came through together, and Phil chose to stay and fight for his place and learn under Pep, and Jaden decided, I'm going to go get minutes elsewhere. Good choice.
I think it's that classic. It's too much. I'd say too much too soon because he's 23. He's not a child, but it's similar to like what a lot of dudes we see. Sometimes the move is bigger than the move is the prize. It ain't playing. It's everything besides playing. It's the 350 a week. It's in Manchester United. I'm the next star of England. It ain't really about playing.
I can see that.
Status symbol for some guys.
Look at you talk about who he played for. Where's Dele Ali?
Last with Everton and then somebody else.
He was actually not, because I followed him. He was he with Besiktas, I believe. It was he was with either Besiktas or Besiktasshire. I know it was one of those two. I don't remember which one, but I think it might have been Besiktas. But I believe he might even went to.
It was Besiktas. You're right.
It was Besiktas. Okay, yeah. I believe he had a huge falling out with his manager there too, and they like terminated his contract. I don't really know what's going on with his career actually at this moment. I believe he's a free agent. I don't know if anybody will touch him, but I believe he's a free agent. I know Coach mentioned trying to reach out to him and kind of put his arm around him. He ain't mentioned signing him, but
That's my guy, but hey.
Oh, I loved him at Tottenham. Like, I loved him at Tottenham. I don't know what happened. Some of these careers here lately, when they leave the Prem or switch teams that they were great on, it got to be studied, yo. It got to be, because there's no way he fell off that bad. The same I said about Coutinho. There's just no way. How does this happen?
It's the move. Sometimes that's what makes your Erling Haalands like that's why, apart from other stuff, they do make them special because they're here to play. The move is not the end. Some dudes, though, I think it's the move, it's that money.
Unfortunately, I feel like that was maybe that for Hazard.
I think it was too. I think Hazard definitely that was.
Honestly, I made this joke, but this joke kind of rings a little true to me. I joked that I feel like that was always the plan, and he didn't want to do that to us. So it was like, let me go away. I know y'all gonna be mad I'm gone, but let me go away. And that man seemed like he stopped caring immediately after he left us. He showed up overweight, like
Listen, Eden won. He won, unfortunately, against us. Made us look crazy. He won y'all the Europa League, got you back in the Champions League, and said, "You know what?
Leave on a high note. We done won some shit. I'm a holler. I just embarrassed Arsenal one last time. That was for y'all about. And that boy, he ain't been right since.
Eden, man." But look, we gonna get on up out of here, man. It's late night. Shout out Joe for setting it up. Shout out Ron. Zach and Storms hopefully be back with us soon. Storms again. You might want to mute these last 10 minutes. Because it's ugly up there at OT. It's ugly. It's ugly. But listen, Stoppage Time FC. Stoppage Time FC is the Facebook group, the YouTube. Subscribe, notifications on, join the group. Ron, Joe, Big Ron.